Welcome back to our final episode discussing democracy and security issues. I am your host, Onisius Mamba. We received several questions on LGBTQ plus issues from Wenda Chilanga, Edward Mumba, and Makasa Martin. And the question is as follows: what is the U.S. Embassy stance on LGBTQ plus rights here in Zambia?
Sure. I mean, fundamentally, to the United States, this is a matter of basic human rights. It's not an advocacy for special rights for any particular group. It's about every person in Zambia, every person around the world having the right to be safe, to not be fired from their job or lose their home or lose their life because of who they are. Certain laws may restrict actions, but laws generally in Zambia don't restrict who one fundamentally is. I am a bit concerned by some of the narrative I hear, however, that seems to equate homosexuality with sodomy. And I think that this, unfortunately, clouds the reality of certainly there is a challenge with sexual abuse. And when people talk about young boys being abused, unfortunately, I'm not hearing the stories about so many young women who are also the victims of sexual abuse. And I would encourage the government and society to stand up against sexual assault, against sexual abuse in all types. But that is an issue that is fundamentally different from the issue of homosexuality. More broadly, when I think of Zambia and Zambia's potential, the opportunity for investment, for jobs, for a better life, for education, that's a solution for the country's future that requires all Zambians to be participating. And they can do that by the fundamental protection and respect for human rights.
Another question we picked comes from Patson Rashford Banda, and he asks, Your Excellency, is it true that you will soon create a military base in Zambia? And what will be the purpose of that military base? Is it to create opportunities for the youths to join the military in the US, or what?
What? Let me put this issue to bed. We announced that we were opening an Office of Security Cooperation. It's not a military base. It's one guy. It's Benjamin. He works down the hall from me, behind a desk. Much like counterparts in embassies all around Africa and all around the world, Benjamin, or the Office of Security Cooperation, is a liaison between the U.S. Embassy and the ZDF to find ways and how we can increase our partnership on security issues. Because Zambia is playing an increasingly important leadership role around the Southern Africa and the continent on addressing security issues, whether it's peacekeepers deploying to Central African Republic or Democratic Republic of Congo, or flying SADC forces into Cabo Delgado in Mozambique. Zambia is playing an important role in security. And the United States thinks, in partnership with the ZDF, that we can play a meaningful role in providing training or capacity building or equipment so that the Zambian troops who are doing that can do so more effectively or more safely, and so that Zambia can continue its really important role in regional peace and security.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador. And finally, we're going to pick a question from Mundia Wamunyima. What are you going to do to enhance media relations between Zambia and the US?
So, when you look at the American Constitution, the First Amendment lays out very explicitly the freedom of speech, the freedom of media. It's because we strongly believe that access to information is what empowers citizens to be active contributors to their society. And we think that applies in Zambia as much as it applies in the United States. And so through USAID Open Spaces program, for example, we're supporting community radio stations, supporting independent journalists on professionalism, on cybersecurity, on making sure that there's a better capability to differentiate disinformation from fact. Not at all saying what to report, but to make sure that there's a better and more expansive availability of accurate information to Zambians to make more informed decisions and contribute more productively and proactively to their futures.
On that note, we wrap up our 4 video series where Ambassador Michael Gonzales was responding to questions that you have been sending on the US Embassy Facebook page. I have been your host, Onesius Mamba. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Onesius.